ahead with our next session, which is on the topic DDI as a network automation hub. And for this, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Ranjit Dhalwani, who is the Regional Sales Director at EfficientIP. And to join him, we'll have Mr. Chirag Nagda, who is Customer Solution Architect Team Lead India at EfficientIP. To give a brief introduction, Ranjit handles sales for India region for EfficientIP and has over 25 plus years of experience in the telecom and network security business. To join him, briefing about Chirag, he handles pre-sales for India region for EfficientIP based in Mumbai and has over 15 plus years of experience in IT industry working along with customer base of enterprise, telecom, ISP, government, BFSI, etc. With this, let's welcome both of them with a big round of applause.
Yeah, till the slides come up. Good afternoon to all of you. It's really a pleasure and a privilege to be a part of this session. EfficientIP. So before I start, one CIO said that our network is in a mess. Okay, our network is in a mess, and we have spent almost the whole night trying to figure out it. And what was the reason? It was basically, there were two L1 engineers who used the same IP address for two endpoints. So it was a kind of a network storm that the network went through. And to figure that out, they took almost the whole night. So, this is one typical problem that we try to solve, EfficientIP. And we'll be talking through what exactly EfficientIP and what kind of challenges that we address, right? The topic is Network Hub, and we'll go through it. But before that, I'll just like to talk about what EfficientIP deals in. We are a French company focused on DDI. There are a lot of acronyms nowadays, and DDI is one such acronym. What it stands for is DNS, DHCP, and IPAM, or IP address management. That is what we do. It's quite a unique niche area that we operate in. And the company focuses on network automation and security. And I'll elaborate on that in a bit. We are present in more than 110 countries. We have more than 1,000 customers globally. We are present in India since the last 6 to 7 years. And we have some prominent names as our customers. Right, so what is the solution? So at one side you have applications and services, and the other side you have endpoints, which can be customers, employees, and the likes, right? So the DDI layer handles seamless communication between one side to the other, okay? The applications and services being accessed in a seamless manner, faster, smarter, and much more effective manner. That's what we do. So these protocols have been there for ages together, right? There is nothing new about DNS. So DNS is the first line of communication for an application or a service that one end user would go to. DHCP would again be the first point where the endpoint gets a IP address. And the IPAM, or IP address management, is basically a consolidated database of all the universe of IP addresses in an organization that we collate and put it on a single dashboard. That's what we do, okay? So DDI, or DNS, DHCP, IPAM is an integrated solution that EfficientIP brings to the market, right? We have a lot of resources. So we have seen in the ecosystem of organizations that we talk to, the challenges that we see in most of these organizations is that all these things are quite fragmented, okay? They would be doing DNS in silo, DHCP silo, and IPAM on different spreadsheets or some kind of traditional solutions. but EfficientIP addresses this space. When it comes to the challenges that we see, broad challenges would be put together into 3 buckets. One is visibility. We don't know what is happening within these applications or services, as in DNS, DHCP. We don't know, or it's difficult to control them or automate them, right? Because it all nowadays about how we partner with different ecosystems and applications and services to get a more automated kind of an environment, right? So control and automation is another challenge. And because you don't have basic visibility, security is a distant dream. So unless until you know what is happening, who are the top talkers, top listeners and things like that, security is a challenge. So DNS is very crucial in terms of security, because the first, again, as I mentioned, the first line of reach out to any particular service is the DNS. Now, if that itself, the query, there is some kind of malware or some kind of a security issue, we would have the whole stack of security tools being rendered useless, right? So our solution puts together all these things and brings you a single source of truth, okay? A single source of truth by integrating DNS with DHCP and collating it to a IP address management. This is the stack, and this is the focus that EfficientIP is into. The first pillar that you see is our appliance called as Solid Server, which basically has the 3 flavors, DNS, DHCP, IPAM in certain throughput perspectives. We also have the MVSM. Now, I won't get into all these details. My colleague is here. But the first tower is the base appliance. The second tower is the DNS security. So as an overlay or as an extension of the DNS DHCP, we have the full-fledged DNS security. Okay? So most of you would say that, yeah, we have some things in place for DNS security. But we are looking at it from a specialized manner. Right from the known attacks to the unknown to the 0-day, all those things we are able to handle. The third layer is the automation, network automation. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's all about integrating with different tools, application services, and that's what we do. And lastly, the global server load balancing on DNS, whether it's internal or external. So broadly, that is the portfolio. To talk about the various industry, the customers that we serve, it's not limited to any particular vertical, okay? Whether it's online, telcos, BFSIs, large universities, whatnot, any large organization would have these kind of challenges, and we have been addressing them globally and within India as well. So that's a snapshot of some marquee customers that EfficientIP has. With this, I would like to pause and hand it over to my colleague Chirag, who will give you a deep dive into the offering that we have. Please.
Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ranjit, to run through. So as Ranjit mentioned about DDI and explained, why this DDI solution is quite critical. So today's topic is more from an DDI automation. So I would not be getting into the entire solution of DDI, but I would be focusing more on topic of automation and why it is critical and what kind of a value proposition this solution brings in from an automation side. So let's try and understand what's happening with IT. If you see in last almost a decade, the IT infra has evolved. Probably I've been with 20 years within IT infra. And what I have seen is when I started my career way back in 2004, the infra was quite simple, which used to look complicated, where you have perimeter router, you have firewall, DMZ, LAN, and back-to-back data centers connected. And probably at that point of time, data centers used to be a big thing. Then there was never a DCDR in most of the organizations. So probably way back in 2006, 2007, most of the enterprises, they started looking at DCDRs, So there are a lot of different concepts that evolved. And if you see in last 5 to 7 years, more and more devices are getting connected. We started journey mobility from 2G or GPRS to 2G, 3G. Today we are 4G, and probably we are talking about 5G tomorrow. So more and more devices are getting connected, more and more applications connected. Probably, I don't remember when I was browsing any of online shopping on my laptop. It's all on mobile. So more and more applications we are connecting. So trends have changed. More environment is getting distributed. If you see your LAN, which used to be simple, today LAN is quite complicated. Yeah, LAN, WAN, data center, cloud, multi-cloud environments, again, private cloud, multiple different technologies you are deploying. So overall, what we are trying to say here is more and more devices are getting connected, and that is putting a lot of complexity on IT infra. Mostly CIOs, CTOs, and CISOs, or they have quite a challenging roles today because on one hand you have technology, on the other hand you have to ensure the solutions have been deployed correctly and they are running well. So that's where digital transformation is the key aspect that we see. Probably in the last few years we have seen most of the solutions have moved from CapEx to OpEx. That's a business requirement. More and more devices are getting connected. So that is putting a lot of different challenges in infra, but that's a business need, so you have to adopt. And you cannot live without new technologies. So that is a need of an hour to deploy SASE solution, SDN, SD-WAN, multi-cloud, probably 5G evolution for manufacturing customers, and different use cases that are coming. So this is where the network infra is getting complicated, and that's where automation is one of the key aspects that brings a value proposition. So let's try and understand why network automation. Because infra is getting complicated. And what makes the infra complicated? If you see, these are multiple different use cases, multiple devices, probably thousands. Probably today, India is one of the countries where we have billions of users connected on the mobile devices, if we accumulate all the service providers together. More apps connected, hybrid cloud, multi-sites, hybrid workforce, high volumes of traffic. And again, different technologies, different solutions running in silo manners. So this means that you have so many solutions, and again, you have to collaborate at the same time. And again, what are the network automation business drivers? Create a value. It means that when I have to create a value, it has to be controlled under a cost. So it has to have an ROI. And with an ROI, it has to also have an operation efficiency. That's where automation brings some value out here. So let's try and understand how network automation will bring a value proposition from a DDI stack. Again, network automation is a big topic. We are just focusing more on our solution offering towards DDI, but then again, it is a holistic part in a network which it brings a value proposition. So as we talk about DDI, no automation makes sense without a DDI integration. What I mean is, if any user, any device needs to connect on network, what you need to give? An IP address. So IP address is a key element on network. And once the user is connected on network, what is he going to do? Access an application which are on intranet or on internet. So that is where DNS plays an important role of resolving domain name to an IP address. But most of the time, most of you also would agree is, we miss out to remember DNS if we go to last application that we're accessing. If I'm accessing yahoo.com, if I'm not able to access it, I will immediately start looking why I'm not able to reach out. We never think about DNS, but we think about HTTP, HTTPS. So that is where DNS is somewhere lost protocol within the environment. We always take it for granted. It will always work. And it's always secure. But that's not a case. Where if a DNS stops, everything stops working. But that is the first line of access as a protocol which you're trying to do while accessing any application. It can be intranet or it can be internet application. So that's where the DDI orchestration with the automation brings in strong value proposition. So as an IPAM provides you a visibility about where what is connected. So that becomes your network source of truth. You have LAN, WAN, data centers, multiple clouds, AWS, Azure, GCP. Virtualization, you would have multiple different solutions like VMware, Nutanix, or a number of different technologies deployed. Networking, SDN, SD-WAN, you would have different technologies deployed. How do you collaborate all that inventories about where what is connected, where which IP address is connected? Is that IP address live? Probably that IP address was decommissioned before, but then that is not updated. So that's where IPAM becomes a single pane of glass to provide your visibility. Then you have network discovery tool, probably it could be using APIs, SNMP, that will give you the visibility where what is connected. Then coming to APIs, which helps you to integrate a lot of third parties. So we have an open APIs, or technologies needs to have open APIs while you do automation. Now days of the traditional switches and routers have gone. We are all talking about the controllers or different solutions where they talk about APIs. And last but not least, your IPAM becomes an IP address management solution, or DNS runs as a DNS resolver, and your DHCP does an IP address allocation part. So they all three needs to integrate. Where if DHCP allocates an IP address, IPAM should dynamically get updated. As IPAM is getting updated with a record, it should dynamically update DNS server. So it has to have an orchestration working hand in hand together as a DDI protocol. So that is where the network hub is more talking about how the automation can make life easy, can make your network functioning quite automated way, and bring a value proposition. So you have different technologies deployed. It could be SDN, NAC, few examples that are shown here, same network controllers, orchestrators. So what automation brings a value is the visibility, connecting to multiple different technologies. And while we connect to different technologies, we help to automate. And I have few use cases with different modules of our solution offering that how this solution is going to do automation. So let's try and understand how DDI brings a value proposition with these different use cases, what we discussed. So as you saw these 4 towers while Ranjit was presenting about the technology that we have. So today I will be focusing more on Tower 1 and Tower 3, which is a base DDI and network automation. Probably DNS security is also one of the interesting topic, but then given a time, we are just focusing on automation. And I will try and focus how these modules will bring a value proposition. So first talking about DDI, what DDI does is, it runs hand in hand together what I explained. Your IPAM, DNS, DHCP runs in an orchestrated manner at the same time. We also manage all the IP address inventory that are connected in a silo manner. So we bring as a single pane of glass as a visibility. That becomes your network source of truth. On top of that, we also do MVSM. Microsoft probably does a great functionality when it comes to the service, but when it comes to the visibility and control, they miss it. So with MVSM, we help manage Microsoft DNS and DHCP service. So by doing this, what you get? Any lease that is allocated by your Microsoft DHCP server gets updated on IPAM. So I have a real-time visibility of how your scopes and range are occupied on a Microsoft DHCP server. All your DNS zones and records that are running on Microsoft DNS server, you can manage it using our IPAM solution. So this can also become a single pane of glass to manage your different technologies of Microsoft or open source Linux-based DNS and DHCP service or EfficientIP. All three running together will help to manage all of them together and do orchestration working hand in hand together. The second key value proposition and probably a need of ours is we see every enterprise, every large organizations moving to cloud. And again, multi-cloud is the trend. AWS, Azure, GCP, or probably few of the countries, they use Alibaba and different clouds, That's where our solution offering also integrate with all the three clouds, major known public clouds, AWS, Azure, GCP. Using APIs, we integrate with them, give a complete visibility of the workloads which are active. So what we provide is IP address, host name, the compute details, and with compute details, we also provide the status of the VMs. It is up or down. Now you would say this information is available in cloud platforms. Why do you need it on IPAM? Point here is probably there is one network administrator. His key skills are towards network. He doesn't have cloud expertise. But as a network engineer, he needs to know that where is connected. And believe me, I've seen with many CTOs and CIOs when we work together, they say, are all the public cloud that we are running, we somewhere have a problem of IP overlapping. And that's where you need to have an intermediate solution of netting or something to make sure that they communicate to each other. And the reason is they didn't have a single dashboard to understand probably they're using the same IP subnets. And after provisioning IP subnet on cloud, which is running for some time, changing it is a chaos. So that's where this tool on a single pane of glass tells you if there is a chance of IP overlapping within the clouds, it helps you to avoid any kind of overlapping or IP duplication. And as Ranjit also gave an example while starting, IP duplication is also a key aspect. Probably you cannot control of two machines given the same IP address. till the time you're running DSCP. So that's why this tool gives you visibility using APIs to collaborate with these cloud platforms. Again, we can integrate with on-prem private clouds like VMware, Nutanix using APIs. Then the second way that we use is SNMP based for the traditional switches and routers. And you cannot go away with your traditional network and go everything on a next gen. So you have to balance both together. Probably next 5 years, we may not see a traditional network, but still today we have that traditional network, switches, routers running in. So these devices we can probe over using SNMP, pull all the IP details from them to our dashboard, and again give you a single pane of glass. What next value proposition that we bring is historic logs. So we keep 6 months historic logs about where which IP address was connected or is connected. We keep a cloud logs about what VMs were active, inactive, and the history of that part. So that gives you much better control from a network administration or network visibility side. It also gives the control to security team. While you do a postmortem of security incidents, what you need is where that endpoint was connected. Most of times, if it is more than 5 days, most of the answer is I don't have the information. So this tool helps to get that information. If it is 15 days, 1 month, still have that information within this tool. The network object manager also helps to give you the virtual visibility about how your endpoints or IPs are connected. Probably this may look like an overlap to an NMS. Many of the NMS vendors, they do it for the network topology. But what they show as the endpoint, the dotted points are switches and routers. What we are showing here is the endpoints. So there is a differential out here. And this difference is NMS, they do monitor up to the network level. They don't go to the endpoint level. Our IPAM is giving more visibility towards endpoint than where what is connected. And you can have a logical visibility on the same UI. Open APIs and plugin is must to have today. If you don't have this part within the solution, your solution is incomplete. That is where we have a lot of integration with third-party solutions, as you see on the screen. Again, not limit your names that you see. We have full APIs available where we can very well integrate a lot of third-party solutions. And that's what zero-touch provisioning or zero-touch architectures are key aspects today for automation, where you don't want to go and touch every point. You just want to ensure, probably for an example, we do have integration service now, which is an ITSM solution. If somebody is raising a ticket for an IP address, I don't have to go on IPAM, look at IP address free and not free. From IPAM dashboard itself, I can query and check, do I have the IP address free? If yes, if I approve the ticket, automatically IP is provisioned on IPAM and IP is allocated on the same ticket to the user. So that's where zero touch or webhooks helps to integrate with a lot of third-party solutions and bring your life easy. Again, this puts a lot of auditing or processes in place. That's very important when we talk about zero touch provisioning. And that helps to reduce manual errors. So just summarizing about what we discussed and how EfficientIP DDI helps from an automation and orchestration. So integrate a lot of third-party solutions over APIs, different servicing tools over APIs or over different HTTP, HTTPS or SNMP protocols that we integrate. Traditional networks over SNMP to discover and give you the visibility. Again, multi-vendor to integrate third parties, DNS and DHCP services on a single pane of glass. And definitely, EfficientIP DNS and DHCP services can be integrated on single pane of glass. So putting all of this together helps you to ensure when you have a lot of third-party integrations, that brings a value proposition with existing DDI solution. So this is my last and final summary, a slide about benefits and key takeaways. What DDI or the automation helps is enhance visibility. The solutions that are running in silos can be collaborated together, and you get the entire visibility on a single pane of glass. Improved operational efficiency, where probably you have cloud team, LAN team, WAN team, data center team running in a silos. They can collaborate together using this tool. You can give read-only, read-write access, and you can do more operational efficiency of giving visibility about what's going on in different environments. Cost controls, because you're working cross-platforms quite efficiently, you reduce your time. For an example, if I want to find an IP address without IPAM, I have to log into different solutions that may take a few minutes to hours to a day. With this solution, I will just punch in an IP address. Within a second, I will get to know where that endpoint is connected. So that's where the cost reduction of improving the efficiency of the time. And last but not least, security compliance. Where what is connected, why was it connected, and when was it disconnected? Who, when, what changes were done, why were they done? All that information is provided, and that helps your security teams to get more visibility about who had made that change and when was what connected. So that's where automation with this entire technology brings a value proposition, and these are the 4 key benefits we absolutely see that DDI technology can bring on table to any organization. So that's where I had kept it quite short and simple. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions or any to discuss, we are available at booth, We would love to catch up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chirag. Please stay back, and I'll request Ranjit to please join us on stage. And I'll request Mr. Tejas from L'Oreal to come forward and felicitate them for their talk. Mr. Ranjit Dhalwani. And Mr. Chirag Nagda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much once again.